Mafunye olumalaya olwaleero tubadde ku nsonga ey'emmwanyi. Mwaze mutulaba olunaku lw'eggulo twabadde ku nsonga ya ppamba, ku nsonga y'amata, ne tutandika nga tuteekawo embeera nga tugezaako okulwana ku bintu bino. Naye ate ekyatukubye encuucukwe nga bannaffe abava mu bitundu ebyo ebirima ppamba, ab'amata, ab'ente naki, nga bo bagamba nti nedda ffe tetufaayo ebitongole ebyo tubigalewo, gavumenti ekole kyeyagala okukola. Tugamba kati abantu betulwanako ate bo beeyisizza batya? Anyway, tugamba tugenda kulinda olwaffe kubanga emmwanyi wano mu bitundu bya wano ebisinga e Buganda, aba Western Uganda nabo actually batandise okulima emmwanyi, ogenda mu bitundu bya Northern Uganda nabo batandika. Ne tugamba nti nedda okutaasa emmwanyi yaffe, okugikwata tugiwe Ministry eya Agriculture, tuba twonoonye n'akatono akaliwo. Tetugamba nti Ucda tuukiridde nnyo bo tebakola nsobi oba ki, weewaawo nabo balina bye balina okutereeza ekitongole ekyo. Naye ffe tugamba nti bw'ogitwala mu Ministry buli kimu kigenda kufa, kuba tuzze tulaba gavumenti buli kyekwatako ekyonoona bwonoonyi. Emmwanyi baali baagala gikwata bagitwale wa Pineti, era bo butateekawo mbeera bannayuganda ne bayimuka, kyali badde kyakolebwa dda. Kati kye bagezaako okuteekawo ne tugamba nedda. Tubadde wano of course nga tulaizinga ensonga nga tulaba ate baagala giddusa speed. Speaker bw'agamba oli wa NRM nti kakati isa motion tususpendinge rule eno tukole tutya, ne tugamba nedda ekyo tekijja kubeerawo. Era njagala kwebaza ababaka bannange tuyise mu rules kubanga rules zitukkiriza okuwakanya speaker kyabasazeewo. Ne tuyimuka rules zigamba nti abantu 40 bwe bayimuka basobola okuchallenginga ruling ya speaker. Tuyimuse tubadde bayitirivu nga tugamba nti nedda. Era speaker agamba kakati mwe njaba suspendinga, ne mugamba nedda, eno si indiscipline, tuyita mu mateeka gaffe nga tugamba tuwakanye ekyo kyosazeewo. Era kino kitulaze omutima bannaffe kye bagezaako okukola nti ekintu kino bakiremeddeko bakyagala nnyo nti baagala n'okumenya amateeka. Tugambye speaker okusookera ddala tugoberere amateeka. Ekyokubiri twagala buli omu awulirizibwe. Lwaki mwagala okukiyisaawo mu nkukutu? Ky'omukisa omulungi naye alabye nti kyabadde agezaako okukola kikyamu mu mateeka. Ensonga y'emmwanyi n'agivaako, katuze ku birala. Tekitegeeza nti biwedde, enkya bayinza okugikomyawo. Kati ffe tugamba nti ogusula gukuwa empoza, n'enkya tujja kubeerawo nga tulemeddeko ku nsonga y'emmwanyi. I have been following up on the RAPEX bills, and yesterday we were discussing cotton, dairy, and as we were putting up a fight to save these particular elements, it was disturbing to us that some of our colleagues who are from these areas, you know, where they grow cotton, where they do cattle keeping and dairy production, for them they were saying, no, it's okay, let's hand over these things, government can do what it wants. We were dumbfounded. We said, but now we are trying to put up a fight on your behalf. Anyway, we said our day will come, and it came today regarding coffee. Because what we have seen is that government is doing everything possible to take coffee away from the farmers, to disempower them, to emasculate them. That's why so previously they were trying to hand it over to Pineti. We said, no, this is not acceptable, and they let it go. Now we realize they were using another route. We know that Ucda is not perfect as an entity. There are challenges there that have got to be fixed. But we are cognizant of the fact that when you now hand over this to the ministry, it will become a lot more problematic. Government will have a direct grip, and they will do whatever it is that they want. Nothing will stop them to hand it over to Pineti as they had wanted. And we are saying, no, it is not proper, it is not acceptable. And again, we notice because they are in a hurry to make it happen, that's why they were flouting the rules as well. We told the speaker, can we follow the rules? And that's why we stood up, because the rules allow that a speaker's directive or ruling can be challenged when 40 members stand up. And she was saying, now those of you standing, we are going to suspend you. I said, no. We are following the rules to stand up and challenge your decision because we are more than 40. Can we follow the rules? Because now it's as if they had planned and orchestrated this. Obua, now stand up, let's suspend these rules and that kind of thing. When you operate that way, you are clearly showing that you already had a preconceived mindset. Good enough, eventually she realized that the path they were taking was wrong. They have dropped the idea. We have now moved on to other things. But we know that tomorrow they will want to bring it up again. We shall still be here. to make a case for coffee. If government is saying in 3 years, as we hear them say, 3 years or 5 years, we can be able to wrap it up, why don't you come to Parliament after the 3 years? Why do you want to legislate in anticipation to say, let's rationalize it, but give it a grace period of 3 years? No. If you're ready even in 1 year, you come back here and convince us. Why do you want to do it in anticipation? We have a problem with that. Government webe gamba nti mu myaka 3 oba myaka 5 nti kakati tugigobe ne tugiweya akabanga ka myaka 3 oba myaka 5, ffe tugamba lwaki okikola bwotyo. Mulinde ebbanga eryo birinaayita emyaka 3 nga mulira muli ready, mukomeewo wano. Lwaki mwagala tukiyise nga mugamba kakati mujja komawo ne statutory instrument bwe kiyita kiba kigenze egyo emyaka 3 oba emyaka 5, ffe tulaba kiba kyakutuwuddiisa. Mubiveeko we munaawulira nti muli ready oba myaka 3 oba 5, mukomeewo mu Parliament ku nsonga ezo ezimu, naye mu kifo ky'okugamba nti kakati tubiyise naye tubawe ebbanga lya myaka 3, tulaba okuba kuwuddiisa bannansi.
Ekintu ky'emmwanyi tukiwakanyiza era tukiwakanya. Position yaffe bwetyo bwebadde si kuva kati lwokka naye okuva emabega, era position twagiwa n'akakiiko ak'ebyobulimi, n'akakiiko ne kategera ensonga zaffe, era bw'otunuulira engeri akakiiko gye kakozeemu alipoota gye kasengesa ensonga zonna kakkaanyiza ddala naffe. Kakati akakiiko bwe kakola alipoota ennungi bwetyo ne kalaga ensonga zonna nga tewali muziziko gwonna, twebuuza ate bamaliriza batya ne bakuba ekkoona ne baga nti ate etwalibwe. Naye nga bamaze bennyini okwogera nti Ministry of Mines ku byobulimi terina busobozi kukwata nsonga za byamwanyi, ne bagamba bo bennyini nti tewali kukontana mu mirimu gy'ebitongole ebibiri, UCDA ne Ministry of Mines ku byobulimi. Bo bennyini ne bagamba nti UCDA okusinziira kyekoze esaana yongerwemu maanyi okugenda mu maaso n'omulimu ogwo. N'olwekyo twongera okukiwakanya, bakyongezaayo paka nkya, n'enkya tujja kukiwakanya. Wabula nze ng'omwogezi w'abaka Parliament aba mu Buganda, kye nnina okukola ssaawa zino kwe kukunga buli mbaka Parliament ava mu bitundu bya Buganda ajje wano enkya, eddoboozi lye liwulikike, asobole okulabibwa wa waayimiridde ku nsonga z'emmwanyi, kubanga buli omu akkaanya nti ministry terina capacity. Ate abaka ba Parliament ava mu Buganda ko kaseerimu ne baminisita nga ba ex official si babaka naye baminisita nga bava wano mu Buganda, nabo twagala abantu bategeere bayimiriddewa ku nsonga z'emmwanyi. N'olwekyo tweteeseteese era enkya tujja kujja. As the opposition but also as Buganda Parliamentary Caucus, we do not agree to the rationalization of UCDA into the Ministry of Agriculture. And it is very amazing that the Committee on Agriculture made a very good report making a case for UCDA's independence, but only to conclude that it should be rationalized. You know, there's a contrast there. You cannot say there's no contradiction between their roles, the roles of UCDA and the roles of the Ministry of Agriculture. You indicate properly how much money UCDA has brought into the economy. You indicate properly the expertise in the UCDA and all those things. And then in conclusion, you say we should rationalize. That is something we don't agree to. And the matter has been postponed to tomorrow. I would like to appeal to all the members, to urge all the members of Uganda Parliamentary Caucus and all Ugandans who love coffee, who love the economy the way it is with coffee, to come tomorrow and continue pressing to ensure that UCDA remains independent.
Ensonga y'emmwanyi nsonga nkulu nnyo gye tutakkiriza kwemwolerako. Sekita ereeta etuliyoni 4 okusoba mu bajeti y'eggwanga situwagala kugyejingirako na kugirowoozaako nga balowooza ku bintu ebirala. Tuyimiridde nga tuli faamu nga n'ogyeyogerako situwagala bagyogereko, baleke UCDA esigale ng'erabiira emmwanyi nga bwegenda okuba. Enkya tugambye essaawa 4 weetuli tugenda keera. Tulina okumakinga sure nti bannayuganda balaba embeera gye tuyitamu wano n'okulaba okusoomoozebwa kwe tuyitamu, naye nga tulayira okufiira wano situjja kukkiriza UCDA eno basajja bano gitwala.
Nga tutudde ku bbomu erindiridde okubaluka obudde bwonna olw'ensonga nti amafuta mangi gazimbiddwa mu bitundu ebisulwamu abantu mu bitundu omukolebwa bizinesi. Ojja kutunulira ekibuga Kampala n'emiriraano nga amasundiro g'amafuta mangi agazimbiddwa mu bitundu ebisulwamu abantu. otunuulira oluguudo lw'Ejjinja ng'olaba emmotoka ezireeta amafuta bitreera biri kimu ku kimu almost bitwera nga 10 naye ng'omuntu singa asaza akabiriiti ekibuga Mukono n'ekibuga Seeta n'ebibuga ebitwa amafuta ago bisobola okuggwawo. So ng'eggwanga tulina okutunuulira era regulations zirina okuleetebwa oba ennambika erina okuleetebwa tulabe nti nno amafuta gano tegazimbibwa petrol station tezimbibwa kuginnaayo. Amateeka weegali nga meters 2 ze zirina okubeerawo wakati wa petrol station zino niyo olaba nga zizimbiddwa emu kuginnaayo. Ebyagudde ekigoogwa bisobola okugwa mu kibuga wakati ekibuga kyonna kyonna ne kikola ki ne kyaka.
Permit me to indicate that yesterday I submitted an omnibus report and minutes, and today I would like to present the report of the Committee on Agriculture on the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the National Coffee Amendment Bill 2024 was read for the first time on 24th September 2024 and referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries in accordance with Rule 129, Clause 1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. The bill aims at dissolving the Uganda Coffee Development Authority and mainstreaming the functions of the authority into the ministry responsible for agriculture, and dissolving the UCDA and its secretariat established by the Act. The committee scrutinized the bill in accordance with the rules of procedure, and I now beg to report. Colleagues, we all know the background of rationalization, but I would like to give the background of UCDA. The Uganda Coffee Development Authority was established in 1991 by the Uganda Coffee Development Authority Act, CAP 325, which was repealed and replaced with the National Coffee Act number 17 of 2021. The Act was revised by the Uganda Law Reform Commission and released in the 2023 7th edition as National Coffee Act CAP 38. The National Coffee Act CAP 38 mandates the UCDA to regulate both on-farm and on-farm activities in the coffee value chain. We all know the objects and justification of the bill. It's okay. It's okay. I can read. The object of the bill is to give effect to the government policy of rationalization of government agencies and public expenditure. The justification for the bill has been provided in the background to rationalization. Quality management spans from seed to cup, which includes regulating planting materials, production, harvest, post-harvest practices, and processing to meet international standards. The committee further notes that in order to sustain the European market that constitutes 65% of Uganda coffee sales, UCDA developed a traceability system intended to support the sector to comply with the requirement of the European Union Deforestation and Corporate Sustainability and due diligence directives, whose deadline is on 1st January 2025. This traceability system will register coffee value chain actors, farmers, nursery operators, processors, roasters, and exporters. Failure to meet the European Union deadline will lead to loss of market for 65% of the country's coffee exports. The committee concluded that there is no duplication of UCDA mandate with MAIF or any other government agency. The committee observed that the coffee sector is an important export earner that should be independently regulated to meet the demands of the export market. The civil service mode of operation and service delivery cannot efficiently undertake and deliver this mandate. This is important to note that UCDA has increased the production volume of coffee from 3.5 million 60 kilogram bags in 2014-15 to 8.06 million 60 bags currently, with a medium-term target of 20 million bags by 2029-30. Merging the mandate and abolishing UCDA at this time risks derailing this very critical target of the coffee roadmap. Another tool that we used was to find out whether UCDA has served the purpose for which it was established. The committee established that Uganda is currently one of the African top coffee exporters, with the revenue earnings rising from USD 883.3 million to USD 952.24 million from November 2021 to October 2022. Uganda recorded its highest coffee export of 6.26 million tons of 60 kilogram bags in 2021-2022 from 5.83 million tons of 60 bags in 2020-2021. The committee notes that government of Uganda has committed itself to achieving a target of producing 20 million 60 kilogram bags of coffee by 2030 as per the coffee roadmap. UCDA has distributed 498 coffee seedlings during the last 5 years, benefiting 937,605 farmers. This is likely to increase production from the current 8.16 million 60 bags in 2022-2023 to 13.7 million 60 kilograms from the current 8.1 bags in 2026-2027 as the country looks towards achieving the coffee roadmap. The committee sector employs 12 million people, nearly 25% of Ugandan's population. Uganda Coffee Profile, that is 2018, along the value chain, and this is expected to grow as more investment is attracted, especially in value addition activities. Therefore, the international traceability and social inclusion warrants stronger regulations to meet market standards, which UCDA is effectively delivering. Quality assurance and research. Coffee quality assessment is a highly specialized technical field that is evaluated in two ways: a physical evaluation of the green and roasted coffee, and a sensory evaluation of the roasted beverage, which has been a core function of UCDA that has led to compliance by coffee producers and dealers with established standards. As a result of improved quality control, Uganda Coffee has been ranked third in the world after Kenya and Ethiopia. Other milestones registered by UCDA include designation as a Center of Robusta of Excellence by the Coffee Quality Institute, in addition to certification and accreditation of the UCDA Coffee Laboratory in Logogo by CQI. In line with Section 38 of the National Coffee Act, the UCDA determines and regulates the types and varieties of coffee to be grown in different regions. This is informed by research conducted by National Coffee Research Institute, Nakori, with funding from cess collected by UCDA. This funding has greatly contributed to the coffee research and development agenda. Notably, the breeding of 10 coffee wilt disease-resistant varieties, which are also high-yielding, and the construction of the biotechnology laboratory at Logogo. UCDA also provides timely market information to stakeholders and monitor coffee prices on a daily basis, including price changes on the London and New York commodity exchanges, and translate these prices into equivalent local prices on a daily basis. Committee observation. During the transition period, the Ministry of Agriculture updates Parliament biannually on progress towards attainment of the requisite capacity to undertake the mandate of UCDA.
I saw my colleague just jumping up. we don't know under which rule. Because if I assume if it's going to be a minority report, it needs to be captured on our record. And the chairperson of the committee should be the one to tell us that it is a minority report. And then invites the colleague with the minority view, invite the minority view to present a report. Without that being done, Madam Speaker, I am asking whether it is procedural right.
I also saw Asenansi just jump up.
The agency, the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, into the parent ministry, will compromise and affect the delivery of the technical and regulatory functions this agency has been undertaking since its inception by an Act of Parliament in 1991. Right Honourable Speaker and members, the main objective of this bill is to ensure that UCDA is abolished. And Right Honourable Speaker and members, the moment that the majority
UCDA
yes,
is not going to be abolished, but is going to be absorbed in the ministry. I don't want us to misinform people out
right
and play to the gallery.
Right Honourable Speaker, the bill.
Now, what are you shouting about? What are you shouting about?
Right Honourable Speaker, with your wise guidance,
let's use the right words, not playing to the gallery.
The main objective of this bill is to dissolve UCDA into the mother ministry. Right Honourable Speaker, in scrutinizing the bill, the minority views were guided by the following questions as per the objective of rationalization.
And I don't want you to imagine that you own monopoly of shouting.
Right Honourable Speaker.
Let's listen to the member.
Right Honourable Speaker, one of the main objective of rationalizing UCDA into the mother ministry was whether the funding of the UCDA is a wasteful expenditure or it causes financial drain to the economy. Right Honourable Speaker, 100% not at all. The funding of UCDA is not a wasteful expenditure. Instead, it greatly outperformed according to its mandate which was given to it by that Act of Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, the minority noted that UCDA is a net save as it contributes heavily to the consolidated fund. And Right Honourable Speaker, we note that in financial year 2023-2024, UCDA brought in Uganda shillings 82.25 billion in form of net R to the consolidated fund. Yet its budget was only 44.76 billion Uganda shillings. UCDA is therefore a net saver. Right Honourable Speaker, this sector employs 12.5 million Ugandans. Right Honourable Speaker and members, the crop subsector contributed 55.5 to the total agricultural export in the financial year 2023-2024. But it also has so far remitted 44.81 billion to the consolidated fund against the annual target of 83.61 billion, reflecting 54% performance. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, UCD has increased the production of volumes of coffee from 4.03 million 60 bags in financial year 2015-2016
yes,
to 8.
Procedure.
Thank you so much. At the conclusion, I'm afraid about our children who are doing exams. How you said write talks differently and conclude on the other U-turn. The speaker, isn't it procedure right for us that the pre-current member who is submitting a minority report gives us the point of departure, which is the conclusion, because the rest of the things are actually the same, and we agree.
With only 6 years remaining to hit the coffee roadmap target of 20 million bags as per the coffee roadmap by 2030, rationalizing the mandate and dissolving UCDA risks failing the very critical target
of achieving the said roadmap. Therefore, UCDA does not drain the Treasury and instead it strongly supports it. Right Honorable Speaker, because of Uganda Coffee Development Authority's efforts, Uganda coffee subsector has been rated number 2nd in Africa and 7th in the whole world. Right Honorable Speaker, the other question was, the issue was whether the mandate overlaps the ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture's mandate. Right Honorable Speaker, the mandate of the two entities totally do not overlap at all. The Right Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Agriculture's mandate is to formulate, review, implement national policies, plan, strategies, regulations, standards, and enforce laws, regulations, and standards along the value chain crops, livestock, and fisheries, while the mandate of UCDA is an autonomous, self-sustaining entity mandated to promote and oversee the coffee value chain by supporting research, promoting production, controlling the quality, and improving the marketing of coffee in order to optimize foreign exchange earnings for the country and payments to the farmers. UCDA's regulatory role, which includes certification of nurseries, inspection and licensing of processors, traders, stores, factories, grading facilities, roasters, and exporters, is still very crucial in maintaining the coffee quality at all levels of the value chain. And as per this role concerned, Right Honorable Speaker, it's very crucial to note that it is a very crucial role that no any other agents of government, not even the Ministry of Agriculture, has ever performed. Right Honorable Speaker, on the question of whether UCDA, Uganda Coffee Development Authority, has served the purpose for which it was established, yes, 100%. UCDA has performed its mandate effectively and efficiently. Right Honorable Speaker, UCDA has even outperformed, according to the other figures that I've been reading to you, in whether it drains the economy. Right Honorable Speaker, UCDA's regulatory role, which includes certification and registration of coffee nurseries and farmers, inspection and licensing of processors, traders, stores, factories, grading facilities, roasters and exporters, which is very, very crucial in maintaining coffee quality and quantity at all levels of the value chain and ensuring ready market for the coffee farmers, has been 100% plus outperformed by Uganda Coffee Development Authority. Observation, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. The minority report noted that Uganda employs a total number of 159 staff, all on contract basis, and out of this approved structure of 263 staff, with majority of these staff still having more than 3 years remaining on their contracts. Right Honorable Speaker, the certificate of financial implication indicates that 47 staff, that is 29.6%, will be laid off as a result of the amendment at Uganda shillings 3.4 billion cost in terminal benefits. The revised structure by the Ministry of Public Service provides for only 75 staff, leaving 35 staff from Uganda Coffee Development Authority not to be laid off and yet not observed anywhere. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, what will happen if the Right Honorable Speaker, what will be the fate of those staffs after the 3 years, as is in the bill? Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda Coffee Development Authority was allocated 67.99 billion in financial year 2024-2025, and this budget was 44.76 billion in financial year 2023-2024. However, the certificate of financial implication indicates that the net saving as a result of rationalization will amount to Uganda shillings 82.19 billion in financial year 2024-2025. Right Honorable Speaker, then to UGX 85.59 billion in 2025-2026. Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, this means that the projected savings are even more than the approved budget. Right, Honorable Speaker, this can't be, thus renders the certificate of financial implication inaccurate and thereafter should be withdrawn and a proper financial implication laid before this Honorable House. Right, Honorable Speaker, the certificate of...
Madam Speaker, my procedural issue is on the minority achievements of the agency when they were performing their duties. My expectation was to hear that whereas we are proposing rationalization, this is how their roles or functions will be affected, and therefore compromising the performance of their roles. For example, if you were to look at the structure, what will be the structure?
Honorable,
Yes,
you've gone into a debate. Eh?
No, I'm just raising the procedure issue.
Thank you very much. Right,
Woman who slapped.
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, once again, for your very wise guidance.
Can I have order?
Right Honorable Speaker, the certificate of financial implication is also misleading because the 112 staff who will be transferred to the ministry will continue drawing wages and operation non-wages, which the certificate of financial implication does not put into account. It only considers the terminal benefits for the laid-off staff. Right Honorable Speaker, risks if Uganda Coffee Development Authority is rationalized. Right Honorable Speaker, if Uganda Coffee Development Authority, an internationally accredited by the US-based Coffee Quality Institute and was awarded an ISO 17025 certification and Kenya's certification after a thorough analysis of the systems at the UCDA. It is also designated as a center of robust excellency, which coordinates standards, training, grading, and quality improvement in collaboration with the Coffee Quality Institute of the USA. That is the regulatory risk that I'm talking about. Right Honorable Speaker, mainstreaming UCDA will automatically nullify the recognition of UCDA of Uganda as an international center of robust excellence. This will pose a risk to the implementation of protocols with diverse effects on the coffee subsector, such a loss of markets that employs 12.5 million households. And Right Honorable Speaker, certification and accreditation requires a very rigorous process of building systems, personnel, and continuous inspections by the accrediting bodies. And because the markets have become more selective with the introduction of the requirement of traceability, UCDA is a recognized body that can only implement this commitment. Right Honorable Speaker, we should also keep in mind that in all successful coffee-producing countries, coffee is regulated under a specialized agency. The agency model has proven to be efficient in coffee producing giants like Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia, among others. And Right Honorable Speaker, I'm almost concluding. Right Honorable Speaker, the Coffee Institute, Vietnam Coffee Coordination Board, Coffee Board of Kenya and Ethiopia, and the Tea Authority, among others, have proved to have succeeded more with the agency model. Worth noting, Right Honorable colleagues, that with reforms in the coffee subsector in neighboring countries like Kenya, Burundi, and Ethiopia, when they wanted to mainstream coffee after abolishing coffee boards, the quality and quantity declined and caused a loss of forex to these countries. Drawing an example from Kenya, when it merged the Kenya Coffee Board with other 117 crops under the Ministry of Agriculture, by 2021, the President issued an executive order to reintroduce the coffee board after the collapse of coffee production by 70%. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues,
Honourable members, can we listen?
our second observation is on the market risk. Colleagues, Uganda exports 65% of its coffee to the European Union, which requires the country to comply with the European Union deforestation regulation and corporate sustainability due diligence directives. The deadline takes effect on 1st January 2025, and failure to comply with the deadline, a country may lose 65% of its coffee market that is exported to the European Union. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, mainstreaming UCDA is to undermine efforts of profiling, characterizing, and promoting Uganda coffee, which has made it possible to penetrate new markets, including Maghreb states, Asia, Gulf states, China, Korea, USA, and attempts in Russia. Right Honourable Speaker, any disruption to the sustained promotion and marketing of Uganda's coffee brand will reduce the market share in these countries. Since the ministry's efforts to look for new markets for other cash crops like tea, tobacco, vanilla, and others under their direct supervision have registered zero success. Right Honourable Speaker, you all know that we have failed at deteriorating prices of tea. Investors are running away to the neighboring countries, and the rise of maize prices, rice, tobacco, sugarcane, and others, all these under the supervision of the ministry. Right Honourable Speaker, contrary to the justification for rationalization of agencies, Uganda Coffee Development Authority is an autonomous and unduplicated revenue-generating agency capable of sustaining its operations without funding from government, and therefore should totally not be rationalized. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, we should also keep in mind that in all successful, now I'm in the conclusions, that in all the coffee producing countries, coffee is regulated under specialized agencies. The agency model has proven to be efficient in coffee producing giants, as I mentioned, the other countries like Brazil, Vietnam, and Colombia. And examples of these coffee boards, they have really stood hard on the market of their coffee farmers. So, Right Honourable Speaker, seeing the achievements of all these countries which have been successful with the agency model, Uganda cannot achieve much without applying the agency model, and hence a reason to reject the Uganda Coffee Development Authority rationalization back to the mother ministry. Right Honourable Speaker, the minority report noted that mainstreaming of Uganda Coffee Development Authority will automatically nullify, as I have told you, UCDA of Uganda as an international center of robust experience, excellency, and this will pose a risk to the implementation of the protocols with diverse effect on the coffee subsector, such as the loss of market that employs 12.5 million households. Right Honourable Speaker, certification and accreditation requires a rigorous process. All these without the agency called Uganda Coffee Development Authority, we are likely to lose them. And that's a reason for rejection of the amendment bill of UCDA 2024. Right Honourable Speaker, the coffee quality, quantity, ready market availability, and technical expertise assurance to the subsector is not guaranteed if Uganda Coffee Development Authority is rationalized. So the minority report notes risks and therefore a reason to reject this rationalization of the UCDA to the main mother ministry. Right Honourable Speaker, the minority report recommends that this Honourable House do reject the rationalization of Uganda Coffee Development Authority as it is going to affect the subsector and the entire economy, but also the 12.5 million Ugandans earning a livelihood, educating their children, and also sustaining themselves at family level from the coffee subsector. Right Honourable Speaker, therefore, it's very evident in the proposed amendment bill, the Uganda Coffee Development Authority 2024 under clause 59(4), clause 4, that there is no assurance of employment continuity for the staff, and therefore it's going to also affect the subsector where those farmers, the 12.5 million people do earn a livelihood. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, when the Coffee Marketing Board was terminated in favour of Uganda Coffee, I'm finalising, in favour of the Coffee Development Authority, and finally to Coffee Act of 2021, all these processes, government invested in huge sums of monies, and those who are there can attest that UCDA's achievements is a million reasons to why we also reject rationalization of this entity. Right Honourable Speaker and members, why the rush? Why the rush, Honourable Speaker and colleagues? Why take back a very critical and uniquely expertised outperforming baby back to the mother ministry that is in intensive care unit? Right Honourable Speaker, do we want to kill the coffee sector?
What is in intensive care unit? Honourable members, you don't chorus like you're in a National Theatre. What is an intensive care unit?
Right Honourable Speaker, given the ineffectiveness...
Honourable members.
Right Honourable Speaker.
Listen. This ministry is under you. You do oversight over this ministry. So you left it to be under ICU. No, we need to be, honourable members, we need to be calculative in the words that we use. Huh?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for your wise guidance. Right Honourable Speaker.
So in which ICU can I get agriculture?
Right Honourable Speaker, I withdraw the word. Right Honourable Speaker, there is a saying.
Honourable members.
Right Honourable Speaker, I was saying,
Flavia,
do we want to kill the coffee sector as it has been with the tea,
ladies,
the vanilla, tobacco and others? Right Honourable Speaker, there is a saying that if it is not broken, then do not fix it. If UCDA is not broken, why fix it, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues? We should not insist on killing the institution we have built as Parliament through an act of Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, the Minority Report finally recommends that Right Honourable Speaker, the Minority Report therefore notes that the justification for rationalizing Uganda Coffee Development Authority is not reasonable, and the 12.5 million Ugandans earning a livelihood in coffee demand that the bill entitled the Uganda Coffee Development Authority Amendment Bill 2024 should not be passed. It should be rejected by this honourable House. And therefore, Right Honourable Speaker, the Minority Report strongly rejects personalization of Uganda Coffee Development Authority into the Mother Ministry. Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I beg to report.
Thank you.
Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity, and I want to remind the honourable members in the House that I was sent here by the people of Chimanya Kabonera, and I must have space. Right Honourable Speaker, UCDA, the main mandate of UCDA is to regulate all on-farm and off-farm activities in the coffee value chain, to promote and oversee the quality, and I want to underline the word, the quality of coffee along the value chain, to support research and development, promote production, and improve the marketing of coffee stakeholders in the country. It should be noted that UCDA's main mandate is regulatory and important to ensure compliance with the export requirements and the international food safety standards. Anything that compromises UCDA will compromise our standards and our markets. UCDA is further mandated with the development and establishment of a traceability system intended, among others, to comply with EU deforestation regulation, which is of recent. There is also a requirement of corporate sustainability and due diligence directives. The traceability system, which is a regulatory tool, is supposed to register all participants in the coffee value chain. And it is UCDA that is mandated with that role. We observe that the current UCDA, that currently it is UCDA that is best positioned in terms of professional knowledge, human resource, systems, and accreditations to handle the mandate of quality assurance. And I want to ask the honorable members to underline the word accreditations. And all regulation requirements necessary for coffee value chain and international trade. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to elaborate on the accreditation. It takes 5 to 10 years for any system to be accredited internationally. 5 to 10 years. And accreditation involves pre-accreditation, application, desk review, on-site survey, and accreditation decision. That requires 5 to 10 years. The moment we tamper with UCDA, we are going to lose this accreditation. And it is not true that the minister will get the accreditation the next year. We need 5 to 10 years. Mainstreaming UCDA into MAIF risks compromising quality control and regulation, which will negatively affect coffee trade and markets. This will adversely impact on the coffee export from Uganda and our global competitiveness. We are going to be affected. We don't want to try what the neighbors in Kenya and Ethiopia tried and they failed. They rationalized their boards and they were terribly affected. MAIF, and I'm talking about Minister of Agriculture, in its current form, lacks capabilities, systems, and structures to handle coffee quality regulations and the stringent trade requirements for the markets in the coffee trade. MAIF does not have that capacity now. UCDA is designated as a center of Robusta excellence by the Coffee Quality Institute, which is an international institute, in addition to certification and accreditation of UCDA Coffee Laboratory in Rugogo. These tools are very important for our markets. We note that rationalization of UCDA may lead to loss of certifications and accreditations, thus affecting coffee markets. Right Honorable Speaker, there are best practices. In all countries, my colleagues have already mentioned them, all top countries which export coffee, none of them do so by regulating quality through the main ministry. They use agencies. recommendations that rationalization of UCDA, if done, it should be with a transition period of 5 years to allow Right Honorable, I must be protected.
Honorable members, can we have silence?
Right Honorable Speaker, if rationalization is to be done, my recommendation...
There is a procedural matter from Jonathan.
Madam Speaker.
If you feel you cannot be quiet when somebody is speaking, if you're not tolerant enough, the doors are open. It's being listened to.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have proposed that in these 5 years, if of transition, the government of Uganda should provide adequate funding to promote coffee in the northern Uganda.
Honorable Speaker, we are discussing the bill. Leading the whole team.
Honorable members, you've heard from Honorable Bedi.
Right Honorable, allow me in a sentence to conclude. Right Honorable Speaker, I represent the people of Masaka. We are a coffee growing area. I want to request the members of Parliament that when a Honorable Member of Parliament is presenting, we should be calm, we should allow to listen, and I want to remind you, we came here by our own right. Nobody should ever think that I can come on a microphone and you intimidate me.
Honorable members,
the people of Masaka.
Honorable members, Government Chief Whip, honorable members, honorable members, we have a scenario. The third scenario is a transition period of 5 years.
The rationalization bills are policy decisions of government, implying under Rule 25 of the Rules of Procedure of this House, they constitute priority of government. Now, therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, with that justification, I beg to move that Rule 204, Sub-Rule 5, I beg to move.
Honorable members.
Sit.
Honorable members.
Sit. Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member.
Hold on.
We are suspending to allow debate. Allow debate. Honorable members, allow him to finish. Stop pointing at him like that. Move the motion.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Nsereko.
If Honorable
Nsereko, you sit.
The Member of Parliament for Kampala Central could listen a little. Rule 204.
And honorable members, Honorable members,
I will sit. When I will come.
let's have respect for each other. We are saying we want the rules to be suspended to allow you to debate. 204. Please come and see. Come and see.
No, I'm holding the floor. I am on the floor. No, I can't. You check rule 205.
Honorable, can you sit? Can you have a seat? Suspend the rule. Suspend the rule, then we allow a debate. We shall allow the debate.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
There's a procedure. There's a procedure.
As you know, I am a servant of these rules. And I am afraid where we are heading. When the Honorable Semoju raised on a matter of procedure, Madam, you guided that the Honorable Amson Obua is also on procedure. Quite skillfully, ingeniously, but also dishonestly, the Honorable Obua did not move on the procedure, but went on.
I now sympathize with people who will be reading the Hansard of Parliament. They are going to ask simple questions. Was this the same Parliament? Which kind of Parliament is this one? That you take a decision today and tomorrow you come and fall on each other.
They have taken decisions here, the bills are returned, and we pass them again. And if this decision was made and it was returned and said we need this bill to be passed, why are we fearing to pass it? It is in our rules. Yes.
This Parliament moved a motion that UCDA shouldn't be rationalized and that it should stay. The same Parliament today made a decision that NFA, which had been served by this Parliament, today, the same Parliament said that NFA goes.
Honorable Bua, Honorable Bua, whom are you ordering now, Haji?
For clarity and emphasis,
let Honorable Semuju.
Madam Speaker, I'm moving under Rule 2.2, which talks about reconsidering the decision of the House. The rule provides that it will be out of order to attempt to reconsider a specific question upon which the House has come to a conclusion during the current session. I'm acutely aware during this current session, we came to a conclusion that UCDA should not be rationalized. And it is on record of Hansard. The rule guides how we must move if we intend to reconsider.
If you're buying time, you will sit here up to midnight.
Madam Speaker, I am entitled to
reconsider the NFA. You reconsider the NFA. Wasn't it passed in this very house?
We proceeded on NFA with full and blatant violation of the rules. I raised an issue here that we cannot proceed without amending, without moving that this rule should be suspended. and nobody listened to me.
And we are suspending the rules.
This house, Madam Speaker, we don't need to do double standards here. These rules are written for our guidance, and you are a custodian of the rules.
Honorable Kotogong.
You have not ruled on my matter.
Because it doesn't deserve a ruling.
It does.
Madam Speaker, rules are very clear how a bill is processed.
Is it allowed that a member can talk when another one is on the floor?
I've been the Speaker.
Floor, I have a right to speak. My issue must be ruled on.
Honorable
to our rules of how Parliament processes a bill. A bill is tabled to Parliament, it is referred to the committee, it is debated and passed, and is sent to the President. And the President can agree or disagree with certain provisions. And the bill can be returned. And the President has just returned the bill without comment that there are certain provisions that is not compatible with. And that is what Parliament is discussing. I think this is very clear.
Started afresh. I don't want to give information that was not returned.
Yes, we started the bill afresh. Yes, Kimosho.
Thank you very much. Article 95, Clause 4, a session of Parliament shall be held at least once a year, but the period between one session and the next session, the following session, shall be less than 12 months.
Yes, Ayo. The section that Honorable Lee raised does not apply in this case. It doesn't.
Right,
yes,
Honorable Speaker. The bill was regazetted with a different number, and it comes back to the House as a new bill. So to say the old bill is the same going by that rule, right, Honorable Speaker, that would be wrong. It's a total new bill that we are processing, and I think we will proceed and process the bill like we have done with other bill. Thank you, right, Honorable Speaker.
The room, which is wrong. I'm addressing myself to a specific question. I'm not talking about the bill. The question before and for determination of the Speaker is the issue of rationalizing the entity was a question that this House had come to a conclusion.
There's a procedural issue
This House here is ready to debate the reports. Is ready to debate the reports. That opportunity is not being accorded because in your guidance there is supposed to be suspension of rules. As we speak now, it seems we are now delving into the debate.
Be uploaded on the Parliamentary Information System for the information of members before it is laid on table. And B, and more importantly, only be debated after the expiry of at least 3 days from the day it was laid on table by the chairperson or the deputy chairperson or a member nominated by the committee or by the Speaker. It is upon this spirit that I stated that the justification for moving this motion falls under Rule 25 on the order of business in this House, where priorities are granted to businesses of government, rationalization bills being one of them. I therefore move that Rule 204, Sub-Rule 5B, be suspended to allow debate on the reports, both majority and minority, on this bill. I beg to move.
The rules. Is the rule seconded? Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Omara, by Rita, Lanyo, by the whole side. Is that rule entrenched?
Madam Speaker, if you are reading the rule, and what I'm saying is, you don't read it in isolation. So the fact that there is a provision for suspension of the rules of procedure, it doesn't mean that all the rules are actually available to be suspended. That's the point I'm raising. And I am saying, after 3 days, it doesn't take anything for us. It actually saves the legal challenges that may come over this matter. But if it pleases, like it has always been, that it is easy to violate rules and laws which has put us in this office, then we shall proceed. It is not a personal matter. I'm just raising it so that we do things the right way, correctly, as a National Assembly of this House.
Honorable members, we shall start with the first thing tomorrow.
When you look at Rule 16, suspension of rules, a member may, with the consent of the Speaker, move that a rule be suspended in its application to a particular motion before the House. And if the motion is carried, the rule in question shall be suspended. When you go to 2, this rule shall not apply in respect to Rule 6, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 1, 16, and 98. All other rules don't apply, can be suspended. Thank you.
And you are stating that it is Rule 16 that provides for suspension of the rules. You are relying on the rules, and the rules is extensive. Do you think it makes sense for me to stand here and say I've suspended Rule 16 so that there is no suspension? That's what you are saying. So the rules are not read in isolation. And Madam Speaker, we are going in the right direction. The 3 days is contingent, and it doesn't hurt anything. I think it's the correct spirit, and everything.
Honorable Boa.
I now beg to move another motion that Rule 204, Sub-Rule 5 and 6 entirely be suspended to allow debate on the report of this bill.
Procedure.
Of that
Procedure, Madam
suspension.
Speaker. No. Procedure.
Is it seconded? Is it seconded? The ayes have it. The debate is open. The debate is Sereko.
Madam Speaker, we are challenging your decision and we are more than 50.
It's okay.
We are challenging your decision.
Just a second.
Okay.
Madam.
It's okay. Honorable Sereko.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I just want to bring it to your attention. Over 40 of us have stood to challenge your decision. And it's provided for in the rules that the Speaker's decision is actually challengeable, and there is a modus operandi. It starts by 40, at least 40 members standing up. And from what I see, we are over 40. I would like to suggest that...
Order, Madam Speaker. Order.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm still concluding this matter. Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to suggest that you give audience to these over 40 members that have stood.
Which 40 members?
More than 40 here, right, Honorable Speaker.
You wanted to debate.
Right, Honorable Speaker, you had wanted to know
Honorable
the 40 members.
members.
I can mention
Honorable members.
one by name.
Honorable members, listen.